Welcome to PAWS Academy. Here, every week, you will get a chance to learn something new and exciting about pets or wild animals and how you can help them. Hi there, welcome back to PAWS Academy, and if you're new to PAWS Academy, welcome! My name is Bailey and I'm an educator at PAWS, where people are helping animals every day. In our last episode, we talked about how to be a good steward for your wild neighbors. I hope you all had a great time learning how to make your neighborhoods better for the animals that you share it with. If you missed our last episode, you can click the link in the description. It'll take you right to the video. Today, we are going to be learning how wildlife are helped at the PAWS Wildlife Center. The PAWS Wildlife Center is an emergency hospital for sick, injured, and orphaned wildlife. We rehabilitate wild animals, which means we help them get healthy and strong and then return them to the wild as healthy members of our wild community. Our on-site rehabilitation and veterinary teams provide care for more than 260 species of mammals, birds, amphibians, and reptiles. Today, we are going to learn the story of some black-crowned night herons that came to the PAWS Wildlife Center when they needed help. But first, let's learn a little bit about them. Black-crowned night herons live in most wetland habitats across North America, including estuaries, marshes, streams, lakes, and reservoirs. They are social birds that tend to roost and nest in groups while they typically find food on their own. They have thick necks, large flat heads, and heavy pointed bills. Their legs are short and in flight barely reach the end of their tail. Their wings are broad and rounded, and they are roughly between the size of a crow and a goose. Black-crowned night herons are not a common animal for us to care for at PAWS. Usually, when we admit a rare patient, it's limited to one. This was not the case when we received 7 young black-crowned night herons from Yakima, Washington. After a storm disturbed a rookery, which is a fancy name for a collection of nests in trees, multiple nests fell to the ground, and the parents abandoned the young. Currently, 2 are receiving vet care for wing fractures. Then when we thought 7 was a lot, we received 12 more. Another 12 young black-crowned night herons arrived from Yakima. All of the new herons were in good health, though 2 are significantly younger than the rest. They just needed some care until they were old enough to be on their own in the wild. In their first few days at PAWS, the 17 older birds ate about 4.5 pounds of fish a day. But let's back up to when they first arrived. Upon arriving, the PAWS wildlife staff was ready to help. When they arrived at PAWS, they were all in boxes and brought into the Wildlife Center for their initial intake exams. The PAWS wildlife staff bring the boxes into the Wildlife Center and begin the care that the animals need. They did an initial check-in exam to get more information about each bird, including its weight and checking if they had any visible injuries. After the initial exams, the baby herons were able to rest in a safe space for a few minutes. Sometimes this requires incubators to be set up if a patient is cold or very sick. How do you think the baby herons feel about being at PAWS? We are very careful to give them time to rest in a peaceful environment so they don't get too stressed. While the baby herons are with us at PAWS, they're visited by and cared for by some incredible people. Rachel is a wildlife rehabilitator and Dr. Nikki is a wildlife veterinarian, and they are just 2 of the people that will help take care of the baby herons. Dr. Nikki takes care of any medical issues, and Rachel, the wildlife rehabilitator, helps care for the animals while they're at PAWS, getting healthy and strong. Wildlife rehabilitators do everything they can to make sure the animals they care for are physically capable of returning back to the wild. Some of the baby herons needed medicine, and Dr. Nikki was able to give them the medicine that they needed. Throughout their time at PAWS, the baby herons undergo many feedings to help them grow bigger and stronger, as well as visual assessments to make sure they continue to stay healthy and happy. While they're staying at PAWS, they're living in enclosures that keep them warm and comfortable. The older ones stay in larger enclosures where they can explore and search for their food. This mimics natural behaviors that they would do in the wild. The youngest that need regular feedings will stay in a smaller enclosure, where the temperature is warmer and better controlled. We placed cameras in their enclosures for the first few days to check on them and see if they were eating okay without seeing a human face. This helps the baby birds not habituate to humans. This means that they don't start to depend on humans for their basic needs. Remember that wild animals are meant to get all of their basic needs from their habitats. You can check out the first 2 episodes of the Wildlife series if you aren't quite sure what I'm talking about. While they were growing bigger and stronger, we had the opportunity to see how they were doing through cameras that were placed in the enclosures for a few days. Here, you can see them interacting with each other in the enclosure. Some of the baby herons are still getting care at PAWS, but the goal we have for every animal that comes to the PAWS Wildlife Center is to make it back to the wild, where they can take care of themselves and have a family. PAWS is here to help when they get sick, injured, or orphaned, and then it's time to go home. But if you caught what I said earlier, I said that only some of the baby herons are still getting care at PAWS. That means some have gone back to the wild. Let's take a peek at how that went. Wow, isn't it amazing getting to see the wildlife that needed help at PAWS get to go back to the wild and succeed in life? We hope that you enjoyed learning what it's like to be an animal getting care at PAWS and then returning to your home in the wild. Wild animals need our help sometimes, and it's so important to keep your eyes out for wildlife that may be in danger. If you ever see a sick, hurt, or orphaned wild animal, call PAWS. Now you know what happens to the animals after you bring them here. You should never touch the animals and should get a parent or a trusted adult to call PAWS to receive further help about what to do with the animal. It's time for you to take action. We want you to learn about an animal that PAWS accepts into our Wildlife Center to help. Go to our website, paws.org/PAWS Academy, and click on the activities that go with this video. You can also check out our Wildlife Resource Library to learn more about animals that PAWS helps. It will also be linked in the description. In the activities, you can learn more about how PAWS helps wild animals get back to their natural habitats and be functioning members of their wild populations. If you've enjoyed learning how animals get help at the PAWS Wildlife Center, make sure to give this video a like or a thumbs up. Thanks for tuning in again today to PAWS Academy. I'm so excited to keep learning with you all. I hope you learn more about the stories that happen at the PAWS Wildlife Center today. The next time I see you, we're going to start learning about some of the issues that wildlife face. Until then, I'm Bailey. Keep helping the animals. Bye-bye. A special thank you to our friends at VCA Animal Hospitals for sponsoring this episode of PAWS Academy. Make sure that you click the red subscribe button and turn the bell on so you don't miss another PAWS Academy video. See you next time. Bye-bye.